Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for spending time with us today on Interviews. Today, Dawn Zimmermann is going to tell us a little bit more about how you can start your own business and how you can develop your career. So over to you, Dawn.
Good afternoon, Melanie. Again, thank you. It's lovely to be with you again this afternoon. And thank you for this opportunity to tell people more about what I do. I think I'd like to start off by saying that what I do, I believe, is really a blessing from God that He's given me to help people to really overcome the challenges that they face starting careers. I believe that in our country, the economy is a really tough place for any person to actually thrive in. And in my experience as a facilitator over many years and as a youth developing trainer, I found that there's a lot of problems that the youth experience currently, which is not addressed by our education system. And these young children come out of school and they're expected somehow to create or find a job and go out into the marketplace. I speak from the experience of I am in the position where my two children, my one child decided to opt into his own business instead of going the route of looking for a job. My daughter has a 4-year degree in economics and agriculture, and she spent 4 months looking for a job, and she is well qualified. And if you can understand or think that 4 months for her sitting around at home waiting, now you take a youth who has barely passed his matric, his second language English, he has probably not had a good role model at home. There hasn't been much support at home from that perspective either. And now, what now? My first question that I usually ask my delegates in my career development course is, did your parents not say to you, go and study more, why won't you do better at school, pay attention, do better at school? And then I say to them, did your parents say that? And they go, yes, my parents said that. And I go, how many of you today as unemployed young adults wish that you had followed that advice? And they all put up their hand and they say, we are stuck. So I think that there's a certain amount of desperation. There's a certain amount of lack of self-esteem, which goes with being unemployed. And it's a natural thing. We feel useless. We feel nobody wants me. I'm not good enough. And therefore, what I do is that I start off my course by explaining to the young people that I was in that position myself and have been in that position myself and had to fight my own way out of that position. I think what we deal with first in my course is we start off and we deal with, who am I? How is it that I could be worthy of going out into the corporate world and making a difference? And what does that worthiness actually mean when it comes to marketing yourself as a product rather than as an employee? So what I teach the young people to do is I teach people how to turn themselves into a product. And you and I both know that as you're driving down the highway, you see the very big billboard on the side of the highway which says, Coke gives you life, or whatever it is. Everybody looks at it and goes, oh, that's amazing. And how I interpret that for the young people is, imagine you were that billboard. Imagine you were that person. And my company is looking to employ somebody. Would I not want to employ somebody who is truly an asset to my business? And how would I ever be noticed as an asset if I am not able to explain myself properly and also give a good sense of my abilities as a customer service person, or as a person who is going to add value to a company, or who is going to be professional when speaking to customers, etc. And all of these are skills which are not taught in the schools. They're not taught in the universities either, actually, quite frankly. So I focus a lot on conflict management. I focus a lot on professionalism. What does professionalism mean? How do I go out and present myself as a professional person with confidence? And a little known fact is that communication, your message, your verbal message that you're actually giving via your CV or in an interview is only 7% of the message. The 93% of the message is given through your body language, your confidence, your ability to communicate effectively in English as an international language. How does your CV look? And how are you able to deal with people? And if you do not have those skills, you are going to struggle in our country and in any country to find a job opportunity. So, for instance, I am dealing at the moment with a young man who is building a website for me. And he is a young Black entrepreneur, and those are the people that I support. So I looked specifically for somebody like that to do my website. And the minute he sent me his example websites of what he has already created, this is his testimonial. The very first website that I opened up had spelling errors on the front page. And as I looked down the website, I saw that the members of the company that he was representing in the website were all three young Black entrepreneurs. And I commend these people. In my heart, I'm overjoyed when I see that the youth are starting their own businesses, because the economy, there are no jobs, and people struggle to become employed. But when I looked at that, all I could see was there are 3 second language English speakers who cannot even see in their own website the errors which are going to cause that 93% of the communication to say these people are not capable, when they are very likely highly talented, highly skilled, and yet English being their second language puts them in a position where they seem unprofessional. What we do in my business, or what I do in my business, and I now have Kopotso, who is my intern, and she is also my partner in my business. We coach these young entrepreneurs in short courses, and I call them crash courses. So it's a morning crash course. It's about 3 hours. And we coach them at a very, very reasonable fee in the small particularities of how do you become professional? What does a professional look like? How does a professional speak? What does your website have to look like? How do you put together a template for your invoices, etc., etc. So on the one hand, we try to help people to not sit at home for months and months and months on end watching TV and being bored because they can't find a job. I encourage people continuously to be building their CV, and I don't care whether building your CV means going to volunteer at the local petrol station as a cleaner. Because the minute that you are in a position where you can be seen and noticed, your skills, your talents, your enthusiasm, your general attitude towards the workplace will be noticed. And though you're working for free even, it is adding to your CV. And that may only take 2 to 3 months or maybe 6 months of dedicated effort in a position where you may not be earning an income. You may only be building your CV. But at least after that, if you have the right skills, the right attitude, the right ability and the right understanding of what it takes to be a professional in the corporate world, already your chances of gaining employment are 100% more than they would be if you did not have those skills. And so that's why New Perspective coaches young entrepreneurs and young school leavers, and I prefer to coach children who are still in school, so your grade 11, grade 12, to teach them these skills so that they don't sit helplessly at home, lost, and have no future and have nothing to go forward to. Teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, self-esteem problems, suicide, depression, all of these things result from sitting for long times and long periods without being involved in a community or a project or earning income. It makes one feel useless and unworthy. And that is everything that I refuse to allow. I will not allow our youth to continue to have those problems and to struggle. So I present my coaching and I present my courses. My courses, for a 3-hour course, I charge 300 Rand. If you would go to a professional training company, that course would take you 2 to 3 days, and you would spend anything from 3,000 to 6,000 Rand for that course. What I have done is I use examples and I use exercises, and then I use small skill set training to give those skills the nitty gritty. What is it that we're actually looking for? What is it that we really, really want? I put the course together, and I focus on each individual and the needs of the individual in my coaching. So if I notice that somebody has a literacy, maybe English literacy problem, I would give them a short course on basic literacy, English business writing. If I notice that their problem is maybe confidence skills and confidence related, I would give them an assertiveness course, and it would be a crash course. Like I say, it's a 3-hour course, and I would follow that up with coaching thereafter. And I try to not give fees. I would do it via email, I would do it via Skype, however it is, but I try to limit my fees as much as possible to give the children and the youth as much opportunity as possible to learn from my experience as a long time, well experienced corporate person, and also as a facilitator of the last 8 years. I have many skills that I can share, whether it be business admin, minute taking, business writing, customer service, telephone excellence, assertiveness, emotional intelligence. I first of all, I review the client as they come to me. I look at what their needs are. I offer suggestions on the best way that I can help them. And my courses are short, they're brief, they're to the point, and my aim is to get the person employed or starting their own business. And I then give the backup support for that. So I help them set up templates, Facebook pages, letterheads, logos, etc., etc. And that is basically what we do. And I'm mentioning Khupotso not as the last person, but as my helpmate and as my intern. I met her at the training, one of the training companies that I worked for, and she's a lovely, young, very enthusiastic young professional who has already started a help center for women. And she is really somebody that I believe in very strongly will be able to coach as I do and help those who are struggling as much as what I am able to. So we're a team, and unfortunately she can't be with me. I'm in Brits, she's in Johannesburg, but between the both of us, we are able to do Skype or Zoom sessions and coach and counsel and train people and help them to go forward in their careers and their businesses.
Mm.
And that's more or less what New Perspective does.
That's amazing. It's a much needed service in our country, I think. Now, when I speak to people who want to start their own businesses, the first thing that 90% of them say to me is, I would like to start my business, but I have no money. How do we overcome that mindset? How do we bridge that gap?
I think that you've raised an incredibly important point, and something that we all have a gripe with across the board in all cultures of our country is customer service.
Mm.
And when I speak to people about customer service, they generally are scared of customers. Let's start there. And they're scared of making a fool of themselves. And what I say to people is that when you understand that everybody is exactly like you, everybody wants exactly what you want. They want to be treated well. They want to be treated with respect. They want to be noticed. They want to be listened to. They want to be heard. And it doesn't matter in which field you start. You can start as a packer at Pick and Pay, for all I care. And you can build your career and you can become the CEO of the company. I am 100% positive of that. But attitude gives you altitude. And when your attitude is, I will overcome the difficulties that I am faced with as a young, unemployed individual, because there is only one way towards success, and that is through hard work.
Mm.
And I always say that to my delegates.
Mm.
I can stand here in front of you and I can give you all the skills in the whole world. But if you do not pitch up with a great attitude as a great product, you will not sell yourself or your business to anybody.
Mm.
So the first advice I would give to anybody starting a business is that you have to crawl before that you can walk. And my motto is under promise and over deliver in all aspects of your business. Now, I had a natural therapy business for many years until I became, unfortunately, I was ill and I had to sell the business. My clients still contact me. 4 years later, they phone me because I believe in customer service. And my customer service says, I under promise and I over deliver. So if I say to you, I might possibly be able to get this product to you within the next 3 days, I make sure I get it there by 2 days. And when one starts to have that understanding that you are here as a customer service official, you are here as somebody who is giving a service, and everybody wants to receive what they pay for and they want it to be good. That's what you have to do. It's all you have to do. You have to provide the service that you promise. And then when you start in your business, you have to provide more even than you promise, because that is what makes you stand out from the crowd. It doesn't matter which business you're starting. When you start your business, you need to stand out from the crowd, and it's your attitude and your customer service which gives people that impression. I really want to work with this person because they are willing, they're keen, they are reliable, and they give the service that they say they're going to give. So my first tip in starting your own business is, when you learn to advertise on Facebook and you have just that basic beginning, and you can do many courses online which are free and which help you to find those tips. When you start your business, my motto, and that's what I stick to, is under promise and over deliver. And that gives you the first foot in the door It gives people that first impression of you as somebody they'd like to work with, and thereafter, all you're doing is you are working towards the loyalty of your customers.
So are you recommending that people actually start by making sales in the business rather than trying to get grants or borrow money to start a business?
Absolutely, without a doubt. There are so many avenues which are free marketing sites. Facebook, one of them, and in fact, your site is one of them as well. I personally believe, and I've got 3 businesses that I'm busy putting together at the moment, that using Facebook is a great way to start advertising your business. If your service matches what your promise is, you will get customers, and it will take work and it will take time. Nothing happens overnight, everything happens over time. So whatever it is that you want to do, make sure that you can give the service in such a way that it is going to impress your clients, and slowly but surely grow your business one client at a time, and it will grow and it will carry on. There is no doubt. There is a place for every person to have a business in this country. We have more than enough opportunities. There are more than enough niches. It doesn't matter whether you're the 6,000th person that bakes cakes. Your cakes will be better than somebody else's. Your price will impress somebody else, even if they've been to another 10 or 12 or 15 people. So marketing is your most important skill that you need to learn, and Facebook is an amazing tool. And when you add Instagram and Twitter, etc., to that as well, you can start a business without a website, and you can make your business grow using only Facebook, and there's many tutorials that can help you to do that. And that is the first place that I would start. The second place that I would start is as a volunteer. So if you're going to be sitting at home watching television all day and sending out your CV endlessly to thousands of companies who get thousands of CVs. And I remember in particular one occasion, I was working at the Department of Science and Technology. We were looking for a junior secretary position. And I was part of the interviewing team. We received at that point, and that was in 2003, 5 boxes of CVs.
Wow.
That we had to go through. And of those CVs were people who had come out of very senior positions who were desperate for a job. So I urge anybody out there to understand the market, understand what you're going into, understand before that you leave school how important your results are, understand how important it is to have a decision, to make a path for yourself. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? And then you throw yourself into that 180%, and you don't stop. And I have my very own son who has not referred to me once in all of this time. He started his own business. He taught himself using only Google, and he has created his own social media marketing company, and he has never yet worked for an employer, and he's now 23, and he's earning over 30,000 Rand per month. So I know that it is possible. I've done it. I've seen my children do it, and I have seen other people do it. And I want to give the children and the youth out there hope that if they can just have and understand that what is required in the marketplace is reliability, and you stand out as a product. You are not an employee. You are a product on your own, and you are marketing yourself. And if you want to stand out of millions of people who are all standing in line to find a job, you need to shine. And only your attitude will give you that altitude. And that is my advice.
That's a great message. Thank you. Thank you. So for somebody who's just starting a new business, what steps do they need to take, and in what order? Do they start building the website first? Do they open a bank account? Do they register with SARS? How do they set up a business?
Okay, so I have a very I'll make it short. I have a very interesting story of some youths that I met via a training course that I delivered at Transnet. And they then contacted me after. They live in Bloemfontein, and they contacted me after the course, and they said, would I mind training them? They would like to start their own business, and they are young entrepreneurs, and they would like to know what skills they need. So they were very, very sweet, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. I'll never forget it in my life, and it was really wonderful. But they bought me an air ticket. There were 7 of them. They bought me an air ticket to go and stay at their house in the township for 3 days whilst I gave them training. And on the first night, I said to them, right, guys, there's all 7 of you sitting around this table, and you're all ready, and you're excited, and you're enthusiastic. So tell me about your business. What is your business plan? And they said to me, we want to build trucks. I said, great, that's fantastic. So where's your business plan? And they said, no, we don't have one. I said, okay, so who's the engineer that's got the skills to do the truck building? And they said, no, we still have to find somebody. And I said, okay, so who's going to fund the truck building? And they said, no, we still have to find somebody. And I said, but you have already left your jobs. Yes, because we want to be entrepreneurs. I said, I will smack you if you ever in your life do that again. You cannot leave a paying job. As bored as you are, as unfulfilled as you are, you have got to stick it out until you have got your business started. So you cannot start a business with a PTY limited. Wonderful. Everybody can register one, but that's not a business. You need to start slowly. You need to start small. So you need to crawl before you walk. So number 1, if you want to get involved in a truck building company, start off by finding a job. Sorry about the dogs. The dogs in the background, apologies. Find a job in a truck building company. Start there. Start as a packer if you need to. But understand the business that you want to start. Everybody, when I say in customer service, I say, who wants to start their own business? And everybody goes, yes. And I go, that's marvelous. What business do you want to start? And they go, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I go, okay, so what do you need first? And they go, no, money. I said, why do you need money? For what do you need money? Why do you need money to start a business? And they go, oh no, but you need equipment, you need a premises, you need rent, you need. And I go, okay, but how do you start a business without customers? You can have the best product in the whole world, but if you do not have customers, you cannot have a business. So you have to start small, and whether it is marketing in your local area and providing cakes, let's talk about a cake business, going to the local taste night or home industry and putting your cakes on the shelf there and seeing if you can get them sold, putting small pamphlets together and putting the pamphlets out in the area, taking your cake that you've baked and taking small samples to the businesses in the area and saying, this is what I do, this is the orders that I take. Undersell yourself for a little while. So make your prices really, really, really economically friendly, and so that people feel, oh wow, I'm getting real value here. Start small. Don't be afraid to start by giving away your services, because that's where you're building your client base, and your client base is your first most important part of your business. And once you've made your first 10 customers, those 10 customers are going to bring another 10 customers, who are going to bring another 10 customers, and that is the basis of your business. So no, don't start with a PTY Limited. Start in your kitchen. Start by baking your first cake. Start by giving out free samples. Start by advertising at the church. Start by advertising at the local library. Start by volunteering at the local soup kitchen. Those are the places where you're going to be noticed, where people are going to understand what service you can give and what value you bring. And after that, you can start to build your business one small step at a time. I'm sure that even Bill Gates needed to switch on APC once and learn how to work that small little program before that he could go on to his next step. And where is he today? He is a multi-billionaire, well known across the world. So it's that attitude which gives you altitude, and when you provide the service that you say that you're going to provide, you're building your customer base, and then you can build your business.
Thank you so much. Those are really, really valuable insights. So I noticed that we're running out of time, Dawn. If anybody would like to contact you, where can they find you online?
Okay, so I have my Facebook page ready, which is New Perspective. And then I'm busy with my website at the moment, so I will give those. Let me say that at the moment I'm contactable on Facebook and on my cell number, which I have given you the details. Do you want to give them to again?
Yes, just give us your cell number again for anyone who's watching.
Okay, so our email address is success@newperspective.co.za. My cell number is 081-270-0286, and if they go and have a look on the Facebook page, they will also be able to contact us and make appointments through the Facebook page.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your valuable insights for people who are building a career and for people who are just starting out with their own businesses. You shared a lot of information that was very helpful.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.